I moved everything over from the small fridge. The small fridge was almost full, both the freezer and the fridge part. Almost full, not quite. And look at that, so much more room. This makes me so happy. We're Chris and Sandra. In 2022, we bought a boat we named Bataway. On a foggy May morning, we said goodbye to Port Dover and headed down Lake Erie through the Welland Canal and on to Lake Ontario. We had a summer of fun boat projects and explored Lake Ontario and the famous Canadian Heritage Canal System, the Trent Severn Waterway. We met some great people and saw amazing sights in beautiful Ontario. We've got plans to overhaul the interior of Bataway in the spring, so join two not-so-young kids as we dive headfirst into our 2023 adventure. Today we start with backtracking. You never like to have to go and unpick your mistakes, but even with our extensive planning, we had to go back and take the paint off the counter. Just stop on its own?
I just stopped it.
Fortunately, we didn't spend a lot of money on the paint or the materials, but this job took a couple of hours, mostly with the orbital sander and lots of those round sanding discs.
Took me maybe 5 minutes each time I painted it.
How many layers did you put on?
2.
But I think practicing once is a really good idea to see how it feels. So we're going to be like this. It's all going to be sticky.
Well, it's not going to be sticky when we put it in.
Well, it'll have stuff on it, right? So stick it in like that. And how many of them do we have? So I think the thing to do is to pull them till we can see. How many are there? We should know that so we don't leave any behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And all but 1 and 4 are the blue ones.
I mean, it's almost like we're just going to pull them out and let the whole thing flop down.
Well, this is why I wanted to practice. So if we went like this, put your fingers down here, and then you started pulling your 3 down.
I think personally we should start here and then go that way and then go this way.
But you're saying divide it like this?
Right. So
I'm just a little bit like,
just put everything.
so it's all sticky, we've got them in there, and then we just do this?
Yeah.
And then start working that way?
I think so.
So we have to be pretty sure that when we do this, it's not moving the sheet this way and this way.
Which is problematic. But see,
I guess I hold this and then you do that. It rolls a little bit, but...
So you know what makes the most, I think, is exactly what you did. We pin on the sink first. And then we just go that way. Get all that done and then go that way.
And ultimately, if it's a little bit out...
We should be able to cover it.
And if it does go a little bit out, no yelling and swearing, because it's fixable, right? Unless it goes out by 2 inches,
yeah,
it's not a problem.
Yeah. Do you really think you're going to yell and swear?
No, I think you're going to. Did you want to practice on this one, or are we like...
You know, it's probably wise. Why don't we just... Can we do it here?
So all of that sanding madness that was just happening was us trying to get the paint off that Chris had very laboriously put on 2 coats of, because originally we thought we were going to put corian on it, and we thought it was a good idea to put the paint on just to help for moisture issues. So the instructions for the compound elements for laminate, which we're putting on instead of corian because of price, is that it shouldn't go over paint. So we took the paint off, dusty, first day on the boat, raining profusely out there right now. So we've kind of got things where we want it up there, but we want to do a test piece just to see how it works, so we know what we're up against, because we've never done this before. And also, if we have a test piece, then Chris can practice with the jigsaw and the rotor blade. So that's what we're doing right now. We're just trying to get materials to get the test piece set up.
Yeah. I'd just like to go on record saying Sandra thought the paint was a good idea too. seemed like it at the time.
I just let you have your way, hon.
Yeah.
You can never have enough stir sticks.
This looks pretty well mixed, to be honest.
That's because I shook it. Just for you. There's nothing
Pretty strong.
nothing sludgy at the bottom.
Killing our brain cells here. Pretty well mixed. This is wicked. I think we're gonna have to open a.
Well, there's one open, but I'll open the other.
What I saw in the video on the internet was don't over roll it. I'm not quite sure what any of this means yet. This is our first time putting laminate down. And so first time using contact cement for me. But apparently what you do is you coat both surfaces. And you don't over roll it or it becomes, it glumps up, kind of like what that last one did there. And then you wait 15 to 20 minutes. You didn't turn the heat completely off, did you?
It's going to come on when the temperature lowers to a certain point. I think I'm more worried about dying of the smell than anything.
Yeah, well, you gotta take one for the team.
No, I don't. How free you are with my brain cells.
And you wait 15 minutes for it to dry. And then you stick them together, and apparently you don't have much time to adjust. Yeah, this is going to go pretty quickly, Sandra. This cement.
Well, if we don't have to do 2 layers.
Okay.
Door for just a few minutes, Chris. I mean, it's still going to off-gas all of the pieces, but... Start a timer.
It's 8 minutes to a half hour.
So it's 18 or 22?
Me too.
So,
I mean,
is it glossy?
maybe.
Let's see. Can you hold it up for me?
Yeah, it
Look?
is actually.
Yeah, there's a bit of a shine to it.
Don't know if it's glossy enough. Yeah, it's dry.
How many minutes has it been?
That's a tiny. It's been 10, about 18.
So they said minimum 15, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna try.
You're just gonna go bend it in the middle and
Yeah.
try lifting it right from there. Oh yeah, that's what we're up against.
It works.
Oh, the power of chemicals. Get this off right now.
My God.
What? That's a little scrape. Fell out over here.
Yeah.
There's I see a washer here too. What is it?
It's a part of the rotor.
Oh. Has it got anything to do with... Ultimately, it was really satisfying to know at this stage that we were putting in the stovetop, perhaps for one of the last times, and the faucet as well. Last night we officially moved back on the boat and it was chaos. And this morning, Chris is doing stuff. What do you want?
I gotta plug in the pump.
So we're doing a check on the water system. Last time, if you recall, we had this black sludge and it seems to be okay this year, but Chris has been flushing the system and getting it ready so we can actually use it. So we had to rip up the aft cabin and take all the beds up. So it's a mess again. Only one of many jobs.
Dead stuff in here we never got out.
We,
Looks way better.
yeah, it's a good thing we had all those filters on it last year, but... So this black hose right here is connected to a portable bilge pump that we then can pump off the back. So is that the part that's going to stop my vegetables from freezing?
Doesn't look that much smaller
Smaller?
than the box.
We did measure it.
What was the 26 inches? Right, so it needs to go...
Yeah, so we pick it up and then just come through the door like this. Pick it up.
Supposedly.
Pick it up.
Okay. Okay, so top one is negative, bottom one is positive.
What are you doing? You don't need them? You're working it. What are you doing?
Okay,
Can you explain what you're doing?
I'm getting...
Why did you rip those out?
We're putting our own power cord in.
Ah.
This is the DC power supply
From the old fridge, right?
from the old fridge.
This is a DC fridge, not an AC DC.
Yeah, it's just DC. Hey, I need a little bit of room, Sandra. Yeah, this doesn't super impress me. Where did I put the tape measure down?
Right over here.
They would.
What?
The other fridge they built with more latitude. Oh, this is maybe 1/4 of an inch.
Is it going to be tight?
Not sure yet. I'm trying to read. What the hell? Is this closing? It's super confusing. This cord may not be long enough. Cabinet opening is, now I forget, but it's 28 inches wide. That's the critical dimension. As far as I can tell, this is no more than 27 3/4. So it's going to be should fit.
1/8 of an inch on each side?
We'll see.
We'll be scraping the plywood.
Let's hope not. The old fridge, the cutout dimensions were quite generous compared to the size of the fridge. And I built my opening based on that.
Well, I'm wondering if you shouldn't, is this thing going to, the box going to be in the way? Your electrical box is sticking
No,
out a
it
lot.
shouldn't be. That was planned for.
Because it doesn't go back that far?
Yeah. Okay, 22 inches. Yeah, it'll make it.
You might have to cut a hole at the very bottom there to reach in, don't you? That would give us easier access to the...
Yeah.
Because it'll be hidden under the seat,
Yeah.
where there'll be storage anyway.
Right. So we'd probably be really smart to test this plug to make sure we're not going to damage anything. So my multimeter is in the end pocket of my tool bag. So can you turn on the DC fridge outlet?
Okay, it's on.
It's on?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yeah, it's flipped to the right. It's on the bottom where it says 12 volts DC. And I flipped it to the right. Not working?
Apparently not.
So what are you going to do now?
I'm gonna see if I have. Well, the light just came on.
So you're testing the wire?
Oh yeah, 12 volts.
So the connection to the fridge wasn't good enough.
No, it just. I think you have to spring load it.
Oh.
Oh, there it goes. That's what I wanted. Okay, so then, as you suggested, we should probably put a hole in the side, and we should probably make some. Oh, I wish I had some 2x4.
There's no end of 2x4 out in the yard because of all the wrapping. Everything worked out. Getting it through the door. Looks like this would work out. Has it gone up on the boards?
Not sure yet. Doesn't look like it. Now it has. It's in love with that, but that should be okay. Oh my god. It couldn't be much better.
Are you going to try to reach down there in the hole you made and try to plug it in?
Yeah.
Before you push it all the way in?
Oh yeah, there it is.
That was an inspired idea. If it'll reach.
It should.
Do you want me to do it since I'm right-handed? That's kind of a little awkward for a lefty, isn't it?
Just a minute. I think we want to take this off before we slide it in. Oh, that's in.
Needs to come up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it will. I think it should. Not today, though.
Do you think we can get it working?
Yep. Another inch. Give us 2.5 inches down there. Which means that's our lower ventilation solved.
And then we have to...
And then we have to figure out upper ventilation. But right now, it's got more ventilation than it needs.
Right, because the other side is...
Everything's open on the other side. This is just barely going to reach. And maybe not. I think we're going to want a longer extension. It's too short.
What?
So close.
You said top was ground.
Yeah. There we go.
No?
Not yet. Yeah, got it. Yeah, got it. So this is, call it 20 by 16. This is 17 by 15, and it's shorter, right? All of less than 20 inches. Okay, I'm convinced.
I moved everything over from the small fridge. The small fridge was almost full, both the freezer and the fridge part. Almost full, not quite. And look at that, so much more room. The freezer especially has about twice as much, and I believe the fridge is laid out enough that we could put tall containers in there upright instead of on their sides, which is really, really nice. Anyway, as we plan to live full-time on the boat, this was really important to us to be able to have enough food, fresh food, that didn't freeze, so that we could make many, many meals in a row without having to stop to either shop or to go out and eat. We eat a lot of vegetables. This makes me so happy. Goodbye, little fridge.
Yeah, I'll see you in a bit.
Okay, bye. Be careful. Our new oven. We didn't have one all last year. there it is. It's convection microwave. We really wanted something that we could bake like we normally do, but that didn't draw a lot of power. And this is meant for an RV, and Chris did all the specs on it and decided it was the best one for what we needed. We're still not finished, but we're actually cooking in the galley and doing dishes. Cooking on the stovetop. And that just came.
We got the stove last night, and you can see we just kind of stuck it on the shelf that it's going to go on. The grate that goes on the front is slightly bent. Looks like it can be straightened no problem, so that's good. It's a Greystone. I think it's made by a company called RecPro. I'm not sure if that's the distributor or the manufacturer. When I installed it, it was really hard to find installation instructions for it. So what I did find, and it was kind of word of mouth customer reviews on the internet, was 2 inches either side, 8 inches on the top, and a depth that we met no problem. So that's how I built the cabinet, and it looks like I gave it way more room than it needed. The good news here is we more than meet all these dimensional requirements. What I'm thinking is, and I know Sandra would certainly appreciate it, is I can raise this unit up. The bad news is, of course, I already put my shelf in. I'm not going to cut this shelf out, at least I don't think I am. And then, of course, we'd have to redo this drawer. It means that we're going to have a really short, flat space between the oven and this existing shelf, which it is what it is. It's good. I mean, it's always easier to work with, too much space. Too little space would have been really bad.